Welcome to another edition of Closer to Home Small Business Spotlight. I have clients that will reach out and say, you know what, we've been in the house for a bit, we're looking to refresh, we're looking maybe to update, maybe do an addition. Where do we begin? And I figure, who better to talk to than Kelly Colonna of Colonna & Co. Interiors in Uptown Park Ridge. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well. Tell me a little bit about you, Colonna & Co. and your team.
Yeah, absolutely. So here at Colonna & Co., there's 3 designers, and we specialize in full service interior design. So that means we can do everything from new construction, renovations, kitchen, bathroom, all the way down to furniture planning, selections, window treatment, paint consults.
Gotcha. Okay. In terms of that process, I mean, there's a process when I go to help someone list a home. You obviously, I would think, have the same thing. What is the process if someone reaches out and says, hey, I'm interested, where do you begin?
Absolutely. So our first step is setting up a phone consult. It's where we jump on the phone with you, talk for maybe 30 minutes, kind of just understand what your goals are, what projects you want to tackle, and then we explain how we work. From there, I tell them it's extremely important for us to come out to the house to meet in person. I laugh and I say, you gotta like us. You know, you're inviting us into our home, and that's what makes the process more comfortable. But it's also a good opportunity for us to walk the space with them and really have them point out what they like, what they don't like, and then we give our kind of feedback, 2 cents, on what we think they should do, what they should wait for, just educating them on overall market and what we're seeing out there in the trades.
Gotcha. And that makes sense. It's similar to if you're going to list a home, you want to do a walkthrough to hey, pay attention to this, don't worry as much about this, depending on what the goals are.
Absolutely.
So you talk about what's going on right now in the market. What trends are you seeing? What things are kind of moving out, as well as things that surprisingly or not, you're like, this is coming in.
Yeah. Definitely. White kitchens are always going to be a staple, and I think it's just how people address those white cabinets. We definitely are seeing warmer tones, right? So more woods, just more taupes, browns, creams, not yellow cream, but more of a taupier cream. And a lot of the blue, grays, the cooler tones are trending a little bit out, not 100%, because I still feel like blue is a very dominant color, and a lot of people use it as a neutral palette or a neutral color to start a palette. But we're seeing a lot of the warmer, and even wood stained cabinets are coming back. Just for durability and just, I keep saying warm, but there's just a cozy feeling about it, and I think people are wanting that into their homes. Even when you have these huge open floor plans, you still need to kind of bring it down and make sure you still have zones of areas, so it's not so cold and open.
Right. And I know that's a personal preference thing for people as well, whether they want some of the older builds where, it's more compartmentalized versus things that may be more open, and how you adjust those and make them comfortable. So, any other, I guess, last thoughts for someone that may be reaching out on where they would start even before contacting you, or questions they should be asking themselves to decide if this is the right direction to go?
First and foremost, if there's any clients that are considering doing any type of construction project, I kind of ask them, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Are you still going to be in this house, or are you going to sell? Because there's different things that I would go, or how I would approach it for a kitchen renovation or a facelift to a bathroom, or sometimes even just the facelift to the kitchen. Because if those cabinets, are old and you just want to paint them and then put new counter and backsplash and everything else, that still is quite an expense. So the question that I always tell them to ask themselves is, if you're investing into this house, are you staying into it? Are you going to personalize it for you, or are you personalizing it for someone that's going to buy it? Because that's 2 different designs as well, and 2 different, I would say, processes that we would take. The other thing is if you have contractors that you like, start getting them so that you're in their ear and getting on their list, because they are so busy right now, which is great. But getting them to nail down a date is probably the hardest thing.
Lining up that schedule.
Lining it up, yeah. So, timeline, what really is doable, with your family life, with your timeline, with your work, with your budget, and having us come out and having a couple contractors come out, I think is the first place to start. I tell people, interview multiples. You know, you have to, because you don't want to just be locked in with one person if you're not 100% comfortable. So even the consultations we go on, I say make sure you're interviewing other designers, because we both have to be a good fit to each other.
Right. No, that's all great advice, and sometimes people just don't know what to ask or where to start, and trying to help ask the questions they don't know to ask is a good start. So I appreciate that. So thank you.
Of course.
So
thanks for having me. It's great.
if you have additional questions, obviously you can reach out to Kelly. If you are considering or know someone who's considering buying and selling, and you have questions as well, I'm happy to sit down and talk about the market, the process, and the things you should be talking about before you make those changes. So remember, when you work with Paul, you're closer to home.